go. We back at it, baby. Now, I feel good about the situation because we've gone out and hired Josh Grizzard, former offensive coordinator / play caller, albeit for one season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is coming on the heels. If you guys watched, my last video with the hiring of Sean Mannion as the OC. My trepidation came from, and not to rehash this again, it came from the lack of coaching experience for Sean Mannion. Only 2 years in the business coaching, and only one with something that's very tangible as a quarterback's coach. His first season as a coach, he was just an offensive assistant, which could mean anything, his duties could be, go Xerox. Somebody said the word Xerox, but I was thrown by that shit, I ain't heard that I ain't heard that joint in a long time. He could be Xeroxing papers. He could be doing anything. He's an offensive assistant, but something tangible is being a quarterback coach. That's 1 year of experience. People want to sunshine pump so hard that they'll go and make the most asinine comparison that you can make just because on the surface level it may look the same. So you guys know I'm an Andy Reid stan. It's my all-time favorite coach. I follow to this day. I'm still following any and everything Andy Reid. I'm saying regardless. Andy Reid definitely came from the Green Bay Packers as a passing game coordinator. As a QB coach, What he also had was about 20 years of coaching experience in college and pro. There's a thing called time on task that a lot of people don't understand, especially if we're talking about sports. You need time on task to really hone your skills and to really come into your own and know exactly what you want to be as a coach. 20 years of experience versus somebody with really 1 year of experience, you can't compare the two, even though it looks the same on the surface. Anybody doing that shit never played a lick of ball in their life. Coaching is its own entity. You can be a player, This is the truth. You can be a bad player and be a good coach. Or you can be a good coach and it be stemmed from your experience, You can be a player, a really good player, going to be a coach and be like Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson wasn't a good coach, but he could be on the court and tell you everything, One of the greatest of all times, one of the greatest of all time basketball minds, but he was a bad coach because coaching is its own entity. So having time on task with that is something Andy Reid had. That's just Sean Mannion does not have. But like I said before, that does not mean that he can't or won't be successful. That's what people get, If you don't sunshine pump and tell them everything they want to hear, they're going to only hear the negative shit, Like I had some dumb fuck up here talking about, I said that he's going to be worse than Paculo. I never said that. I never said what he was going to be or anything. I said we're going to hope for the best because I ride with the Philadelphia Eagles, baby, to the day that I die. And, I'm born into this shit pretty much, So that's got nothing to do with anything. It's judging the situation. It's going into something, I'm going to get to Josh Grizzard here in a second. It's going into something and expecting a result and it being totally different. If any one of you, I challenge any one of you to come here and show me where you said that you wanted Sean Mannion to be the offensive coordinator when Kevin Paculo was fired. There will be zero of you said this. Zero. He wouldn't be in your top 3, top 5, or anything like that if you were going by the expectations of firing somebody like Kevin Paculo. So my only thing was, and listen, I know his name is Kevin Paculo. We call him Kevin Paculo on this channel. This is some shit we developed and we roll with this shit. Paculo means Spanish. In Spanish, it means ass, So we saying he was an ass as a coordinator. So Kevin Paculo, I had some dumb ass up here talking about, can you learn how to say his name? Get the fuck out of here. Are you that retarded? Come on. Anyway, Kevin Paculo, for all that he did have experience, So if I say that, if I knew going into this we would come out, fire Kevin Paculo, and then hire somebody with even less experience than him, who's never called plays or never coordinated, bro, I would be like, man, why not just keep Kevin Paculo at that point, It's nothing to do with Mannion. The person is having something to do with judging the situation. If you're real about some shit, and you're not going around, you're not sturdy, or saying if you are sturdy, if you're thorough in everything that you believe, you're going to relay your thoughts in the moment. You're going to relay your thoughts about the situation. A lot of people can't do that. They got a sunshine pump and they got to be fanboys and shit like that, right? I don't roll like that. So you're going to always get the real from me, and that's just how I do, baby. You know what I'm saying? I keep it thorough like that. But with that being said, they're showing you themselves by going out and hiring Josh Grizzard that they had some of the same trepidations as well. Because Josh Grizzard, at one particular point in time, was easily what you think Sean Mannion is now, if not more. He was a passing game coordinator with the Dolphins, and he was able to be elevated under a rock star, Liam Cohen, right? Liam Cohen went to the Bucs, right, after being with the Rams, not calling plays, obviously under Sean McVay, being with Kentucky and showing that he could call plays, not being under McVay, made a name for himself, go to the Bucs, he destroyed it. Becomes a head coach after one season, and you saw what he did with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was a hell of a turnaround right there. That's one of them teams to watch for. Liam Cohen is a rock star. Your man came up under him. He was his passing game coordinator. So doesn't that automatically mean he'd be a superstar, right? Just like you guys are saying, right? You're trying to give Sean Mannion the credit for somebody like Malik Willis and Jordan Love when Matt LaFleur, who is a noted quarterback coach in his own right, 15 years before you guys even heard of Sean Mannion, why wouldn't he get the credit for his own shit? They actually have an offensive coordinator there, right? He was the quarterback's coach, Mannion was. He wasn't the offensive coordinator. They have a coordinator who doesn't call plays, and then they have Matt LaFleur, who was a rock star in this business in his own right? He was the quarterback coach for Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin III back in the day, and you know how that turned out. That looked really good on them, right, with them Washington people, under Kyle Shanahan, of course, right? And then I believe he stayed under Jay Gruden as well. So he's somebody who really learned the business there, and he knows what to do with QBs. But all of a sudden, when people want to make a point, they're going to be like, oh, well, Sean Mannion did this. No, he didn't. Matt LaFleur did that. They will be successful without Sean Mannion, and they were successful before Sean Mannion with Jordan Love, right? People pointed out before. Right, when we played them, a lot of people were saying Jordan Love hadn't progressed. If not anything, he regressed this year. And that was the only year he worked with Sean Mannion in a quarterback's coach role. But people are going to try to make their point to feel good about shit. But like I said before, it doesn't mean he can't be successful. But I like Howie Grizzard. Matter of fact, let's check out some shit right here. There's some tangible shit that I can actually show you with Grisard because he was just an offensive coordinator, and the dude was a passing game coordinator before that.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. Are something tangible. Him as a passing game coordinator. This is not a film study, not by any stretch of the imagination, right? I got some shit to do on this breaking news, Jones. I can just do a couple of things, but I'll come back with a comprehensive one talking about the pass game as it relates to Josh Grizzard. Now, I like a lot of his vertical approach stuff, right? We played against him and everything. His vertical approach stuff is pretty good. I love what he did with Emeka Ibuka. And if we're talking about variations in Tennessee breakers and stuff like that, he's not going to come with a favorable opinion from the previous people who were dealing with him, right? The fans of Tampa Bay. So I already know people not going to like him here, right? Which is understandable, man. Most people just go by what they see on social media, right? He was essentially Sean Mannion before, except with a lot more experience, because it looked like he was just going to seamlessly take over for Liam Cohen and be that bull. But as we see, it doesn't always work out that way. But I like some of these concepts here, right? You're getting short motion a lot from him. You get some of the orbit motion stuff. He has background in the West Coast offense dealing with Liam Cohen, but he also came up under guys with the board of that Erhardt-Perkins system approach out New England. So him being like under I forget what the guy's name was, that first Miami OC that they had on the Coach Flores when he came over from the Patriots, and then he was on the Chan Gailey, right, who runs some of that kind of digit system type shit. So he's versed in a lot of different shit, so he can add that to the passing game, right, which is, to me, is crazy. You got a guy who's a first-time OC, and he's getting a passing game coordinator. It's letting you know exactly what I was saying, that the experience factor is just wasn't there, and they need to have somebody there with that experience. If it doesn't go right, obviously we know who would be the play caller, the primary player will be Josh Grizzard. He's already done it before, but I check this concept out right here with the tight end in the backfield, and almost like a pseudo slide protect right here when they going into this. Look at this short motion. Lock him. Look at that.
right? Almost like a shuffle, kind of like a shuffle, right? You can almost put this on, you know what I'm saying, from your eye standpoint, almost like it was going to be a run, right? With the play action right here, right? The full play action right there, back steps up, getting, after they've kind of slide to protect, right, and been able to get this on an in-breaking route to Emeka Egbuka and getting the guys the ball and a passing coordinator makes sense, and he will do well with the wide receivers there. Now, Sean Mannion, quarterback in his own right, in the NFL, and quarterback's coach. You see him working with Jalen, then you see Grisard working with the receivers and shit like that. It should be pretty cool, but we'll go over this again, right? Short motion right before the snap. So he's already in motion, coming over, getting the in-man on the line of scrimmage. So you get pretty much Max Pro here. Max Pro with the back stepping up. Then you get a shuffle throw from Baker Mayfield, getting the ball out on time. Quickly. Boom, right in the place right there, make him stumble and touch earth and all that right there. And let Egbuka for A.J. Brown any day of the week. Can you give me layups in the passing game? That's why I love McVay and Shanahan and those people that come from that background, because it seems like at least once or twice a game, they're getting some type of layup touchdown. Like they completely fooled the defense here. Here's one from my man Grisard here. Now, you're going to get pretty much amount to some runoffs here, right? It looks like almost like a double post. This is a weird combination. Both the receivers on the outside coming from numbers grip. So numbers grip, both kind of run into the post, and it looks like a block from Emeka Egbuka here with play action where the running back runs it to the flat here, just running it off there, and the tight end, of course, sets up here in pass pro. But after the block, then you get a release, right? Almost like a fade release. And, yeah, you can see easy right there. I like to look at offenses going against the best defenses that I can find. Of course, the Patriots, one of the best defenses there is. But you can see right here, front-facing play action fake. Run that, right? Almost like that split flow action there, setting them up there. And then look like it was going to be a run. If you're looking and reading your keys from the run game right there, you definitely think it's going to be a run. And then look at Emeka Egbuka once again. Wide the hell open. Easy. Grass blades chopped. Once again, you can see his motion game, right? He gets that motion in the ocean, and then running that bad boy where it becomes pretty much three verts here. Three verts going against cover three, right? You get a post safety rotating, closing off the middle of the field, and then tight end staying in the block there. After what? Under center. So people definitely going to want to know if we're going to have some under center shit. We've been doing good with under center shit. You get under center play action fake right here setting up by Baker Mayfield. That's right, because you're getting the ball out in space. So I want y'all to notice how a lot of the time his motion is not stopping. It's like you motion and then set up and read the defense. He's still running at the snap. He just obviously can't run forward and shit like it's the CFL, but he can run laterally, and he does that. Back to the basket, play action fake, deep set right there. And I look at Mayfield's options right here. They don't wall that off. My man right here is trying to get depth. The linebacker's trying to get depth up under there. So he's going to be running right here. Who's going to be left to cover that? Nope. You come back right on that vapor trail right there and hit your man Egbuka again. It is Emeka Egbuka. Man, Devontae Smith can be every bit what Emeka, and has been every bit what Emeka Egbuka is, man. Let Devontae Smith be our number one wide receiver. Let's please, you know what I'm saying, right these wrongs right here and get good team continuity. I'm feeling good about this Josh Grizzard hire. It makes me feel better about the Sean Mannion hire because you're bringing in somebody now with the wealth of experience. And then, you know what I'm saying? As people point out, Kevin Paculo is still on the staff. I don't think he's on the immediate staff, right? They just said he'll be kept in some capacity. We don't know what that means, right? But there's a passing game coordinator now, which was his role before. So I don't know where he would exactly slide in there, right? You can't have 15,000 coaches, too many cooks in the kitchen there. But I like that shit, man. So I'm feeling good, baby, going into the weekend. We'll definitely have a little bit more, or a lot more, actually, on both of those, right? So we'll go and look at some Green Bay Packers concepts because you guys are convinced that this guy is Matt LaFleur all of a sudden. And he was a quarterback coach for one season. So we'll look at that. And, of course, we'll keep looking at Josh Grizzard and his passing concepts with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, with that being said, let's go, baby. Shout outs to all my people. Listen, much love to all my people out here in Philly, right? You be getting some nut-ass people coming up on the joint, right? Some dude told me, right, he was like, it's the fraud. Big dog, some cornball from fucking Idaho or somewhere, right? You don't understand some of this Philly lingo that we have. Frauding, right? It's just like what it says, right? You're frauding. You're putting on a mask. You know what I'm saying? You're deceiving. You know what I mean? Frauding. That's our slang here, right? So I'm not here to fraud you, not at all. So big love to all my people out here in Philly. Of course, much love to everybody out Elton, Maryland, and Wilmington, Delaware, Christiana, Newark, all that, you know what I'm saying? Newcastle, all them places like that. South Jersey, Camden, Millville, Bridgeton, Vineland, Trenton, you know what I'm saying? Cinnamon Sun, Cherry Hill, all those places like that, man. But much love to Philadelphia, baby, my beloved city of Philadelphia. Much love to North Philly, West Philly, of course, man. Shout outs to everybody out Cobbs Creek. Shout outs to everybody out Parkside. I'm always mobbing on Parkside, baby. Much love to everybody out in Overbrook. You know what I mean? So we're doing it like that there. And, of course, South Philly, the P. Big love to everybody out Grays Ferry, Point Breeze, Passyunk, Bella Vista. Much love to everybody out Center City and Rittenhouse, Fiddler, all you dudes like that. Much love, of course, to North Philly, baby, whether it be Allegheny West, Strawberry Mansion, Brewery Town, of course, Fairmount, Spring Garden. All my people out there, man. Hartranft out North Central, Badlands, Fair Hill, over here in Kensington. You know how we do it in Kensington, baby. Much love to Port Richmond. Big shout outs to Northeast, right? Oxford Circle, Longcrest, far Northeast, all you boys out there, right? Harrogate out in this bitch, of course, as well. Big salute and big shout outs to all my people, man. You know I got much love and much love to everybody all over who's supporting the Birds. Real Bird fans out there, all unite for sure. Let's go.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.